with that gang gang. You know we don't play game. Oh, hop up on that wagon. Oh, please just get out the way.
Swolenormous.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Test, testing, testicles, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 1780 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode, and today's episode of the broadcast, the mancast, the sleazecast, is brought to you and powered by Everest and K2. Flexing on all you bitches.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's Ask Papa Swolio live, actually. So drop a like right now if you're watching on the YouTubes. Hit that like button, fam. Smash that like button and pinch your nips a little bit, but make sure you smash that like button and make sure you subscribe. We are live right now on the YouTubes. Follow the Daily Swole. Hit that subscribe button, and of course, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Make sure you hit the like button and leave a review, subscribe, all that good stuff if you want to get notified, potentially, by YouTube. Maybe YouTube will let you know that I'm live. Probably not. That's why we use Swole text. Can I get a little holla? A little holla for some Swole text? Swole text is the tits. It's the bee's knees. It's the bee's knees. I'm stoked. So we do got a little nutty McNutterson. We got to bust the nut. We do have to get the nut out of there. So let's bust this little beesh out, shall we? So drop in the comments, would you smash today? And let's get this beesh out, the busting of the nut, and we will jump right into today's episode. Put some respect on it, and sit down. Jesus, stop. That's a sexy beesh. Okay. All right, Leo. Leo's drinking again. Boo, hiss, Leo. Put the fucking champagne down. It's Sunday. He's like, but I have to have my mimosas. Your mimosas. Still think you're on the deck of the Titanic, don't you, boy? Better start kicking. Kick to the surface. Never let go. All right, get Leo help. Hashtag get Leo help. Anyway, fuck average is actually the card today. Let's get some gorillas. Drop that in the comments. Now, of course, today is Ask Papa Swolio live. Before we get into all the questions, we're just taking questions today. Got some from Instagram, so if you do have questions, you can ask in the comments. We'll get started in just one schmoment. But of course, make sure you're checking out the other shows, the other casts. We got the Swolenormous audio experience, Red, White, and Swole, as well as the Swolenormous Procast. And tomorrow, the most important announcement that we can discuss is we got a brand new accountability meeting tomorrow. We got an accountability meeting tomorrow, fam. Accountability meeting tomorrow. And that will be a Swole TV live event. So make sure you are either watching inside Swole TV on Swolenormous X, or you are going to be inside maybe the private Facebook group, wherever you want to watch. But that will be tomorrow. So members, make sure you are marking your calendars. Tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, as per usual. And if you want to join the Swole fam, swolenormousx.com, and join the Swole fam today. We also got a couple other announcements. Make sure you check out the Papa Swolio channel as well. If you haven't yet, we got some new content there every day. And also we got some new clips out there. We got the truth about bulking. What does it really take? You get those questions a lot, and people think that bulking is a lot easier and it's going to happen a lot quicker than they think. And of course, my family doesn't support my healthy lifestyle. So if you have a family that is not supportive of you, make sure you check out those clips on this channel, the Daily Swole channel, and on the Swolenormous channel, available right now.
Yow.
He's heating up.
Yow.
And we are well underway. I am ready to get into today's questions. So let's do that. That being said, you want to join the Swole fam again, swolenormousx.com. Links down below in the description in the show notes. But we got some Ask Papa Swolio live time.
What's in the box?
All right. What's in the box? Drop in the comments down below if you are ready for some questions. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Got some over here from Instagram, but let's see what you want to talk about first. I'm just going to scroll up and see. If we had any questions that just dropped a second ago. Dun, 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 dun. All right, what we got? Dun, 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 dun. Make sure you're using the hashtag AskPapaSwolio so I can see the questions. Otherwise, it's going to blend in because you're all talking nonstop anyway. But I did catch this one. Case, or KC, Kase. How can you strength train and incorporate cardio both effectively? Don't overdo the cardio. You know, it depends on which one's most important to you. Cardio, you don't need to do a ton. You don't need to crush yourself. So that's definitely a part of your training. You should do low intensity cardio, walking, do kettlebell work, yoga. And then if you like to go, if you have perfect form, you can go running. Otherwise, if you want to go swimming or cycling, sure. I mean, you can do different things, but the harder you go with cardio, the more it's going to affect your strength training and your work capacity, and depends on what your actual goal is. General health, or are you really looking for increased strength? Because doing too much cardio is definitely a different adaptation. Good question. Let's see here. Scrolling down. Okay, let's take this question from Instagram, and then if you have more questions, you could drop in the comments, and we'll be here as y'all ask some questions. Tavon Felt, Papa Swolio, what inspired you to not only get into such great shape, but also encourage others like this? I've always, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, who doesn't want to have muscles? I guess some people don't, but who doesn't want to have muscles and be strong like a superhero and lift? It's not like since I was 8 years old, I wanted to get big. But as I got into high school, I just got into lifting. I was always attracted to athletics and, of course, the build. And it's just a standard thing. You want to be strong. You want to be mobile. You want to be able to be a fucking man, lift, build muscle. It's just it's such an awesome fundamental thing. Use the human body. So when I got into the gym, I just loved the feel. I love the feel of that kind of self-challenge. It's so much nicer. I really think it's one of the purest pursuits because there's no team. No one's responsible but yourself. So I grew up also playing baseball, and you need so many people to play fucking baseball. You need so many people to play a game. You need umpires. You need like 50 fucking people to play a single baseball game. I mean, obviously, if you don't have umpires, you can get 18 people or whatever, 20 people, but you need it's a whole thing unless you're just having a catch. So it's just a great thing from beginning to end. You can do this yourself, aside from training partners and spotters, but it's much more autonomous. It's much more you. It's much more, what you are trying to do and how you're trying to challenge yourself. So it builds such great discipline. And then encouraging others, it's just something I always want to do. I always love the gym. So why not that's why I moved to Florida. For example, I moved to Florida because I didn't want to deal with winters anymore. I always liked to vacation to Florida. So when I graduated college, I got the fuck out as soon as possible. Why not live where you like to vacation? And I just stayed down here. And I also knew from just seeing everyone else's patterns, parents, grandparents, wherever you go to college or wherever you start living, wherever you start your life is where you're going to be for most of it, unless you really uproot a lot. So if I got stuck, I said, okay, if I get stuck anywhere, quote unquote, why not be Florida? I don't want to get stuck up in New England and just go through the same old shit all the time. That's just my approach. I didn't want to go through the winters anymore. So I got out, and I've been down here ever since. And it's, what was I going to say? So when I got into, I would say, fitness myself. I always wanted to do, right, live where I vacation. I always wanted to mold what I did around, my passions and what I enjoyed doing. And then helping people, doing personal training and coaching just wasn't fulfilling after a while. It wasn't the same. It wasn't something that I wanted to continue doing. Just the one-on-one isn't as inspiring as creating my own thing and helping much more people and being able to distribute and magnify that and multiply that many, 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 many times. This is much more effective. You could reach a lot more people. Of course, a lot of people do like personal, online training, but one-on-one, it's like, there's more to it. It's not the one-on-one coaching is cool for some people, but in more instances than not, it's not what needs the most work. The training shit, the nutrition and the training is actually the easiest stuff. Seriously, that's the easiest. That's the easiest. Pillars 2 and 3 are the easiest. Community is really hard. Recovery is challenging. Mobility is a whole new habit. Everyone has been practicing to some extent, at least taking up real estate in their brains about nutrition and training. But when you start extrapolating that, you start looking at what's really challenging, building a solid meditation practice, being consistent, period, with all of it. Mobility regularly, daily, do 10, 15 minutes every single day, and then do yoga on other days and stuff like that, recovering, proper sleep, hydration. These are like fundamental habits. Surrounding yourself with better people, cutting out maybe family, friends, shitty people, tightening up your circle. That's challenging. And that happens. You have to do that all the time. So that's really where people falter the most, because even if you have muscles and abs and, oh, wow, I have physical results. Look, I didn't eat perfect nutrition. I trained hard and I didn't do yoga. Fuck that. I'm big. You might be miserable and depressed. So it doesn't matter if you have a ton of money. It doesn't matter if you have a great physique. You could still be chronically depressed and you could just be mentally fucked. So it's not worth that. It's not worth that trade-off. And most people are just mentally fucked today. So you have to make sure that your brain is stronger than your body. That's what's going to keep you consistent long-term anyway. Ooh, at Papa Swolio. There you go. What do you think about a workout like P90X? I enjoy working out at home, even if I don't have a bench press. Yeah, I mean, even the original P90X is great, but there are, a bunch of exercises that are not done properly, even in the original. So it's a great fundamental, this is very early. There's definitely better programming, but that's why it was so popular, because it's real exercise, it's real training, it's real bodybuilding. It gets people into yoga, but the yoga was too long. It wasn't, it was ahead of its, I don't say it was ahead of its time. It was at the right time, but the way, it wasn't necessarily ideal for most people to adapt to all the different concepts. Like that's why what we do is we have much shorter yoga sessions. We have much shorter mobility, because that's a whole different challenge, and people need to feel, that they're accomplishing shit. People need to feel that they're able to handle it with a new habit. You don't want to just go into a 90-minute yoga class, for example. And I'm just getting a little bit too nitty-gritty into the actual program, but because you're asking me, I'm assuming either you've done it or you're doing it. But yeah, that's good. I mean, we also have Swole Mastery inside Swolenormous X and stuff, so you don't need any equipment for Swole Mastery. You can swap out exercises. So there's a lot of different options out there. As long as you're doing proper training, as long as you're training, whatever program you choose, as long as it's covering in your lifestyle, as long as you're covering all those 7 pillars, there are a lot of different options. So obviously there's so many different options for training. There's so many different options. There's so many different programs with different branding, with different pieces of equipment for different targeted audiences. There's programs that are specifically for, for middle-aged women. There are programs specifically, everyone's got their skin in the game. Everyone's trying to promote their own shit and their own brand. But I mean, fundamentally, if you're covering 7 pillars, there's many different options. It's just, what kind of effort and what are you doing for those 7 pillars? But the details can be different. And your details are going to change too. So how you're training today might not be how you're training in 5 years. I'm the same way. I don't train the same way I did 3 years ago. And 3 years ago, I didn't train the same way that I did 3 years before that. I've adapted and adjusted, and that's why I've been very consistent. And that's why I've been consistent this entire time, because I'm thinking long term. I train long term. I don't train short term. That's the most important thing. And that will keep you consistent. If you're training long-term, if your mindset is long-term, you're going to make better decisions in the short term. Should you put on that extra plate and maybe get 1 rep? Oh my God. And You just kind of came back from an injury. It's like, no, you fucking shouldn't. No, you shouldn't do that. In other words, if you're thinking long term, your patience is different and your risk assessment is different. Because if I'm thinking long term, is it worth 1 rep right now? Or is it better, let me drop the intensity per se and then do a couple more reps, or rest and recover and come back and, put another coat of paint on it in a few days? Or do I try to really overdo it potentially and put myself in a much higher risk for having 30 more years of fucking problems? Or maybe, because there is that point where it's just that diminishing return. It's not all about just getting stronger and stronger endlessly at the expense of what? Or just overloading your body and putting on more weight endlessly for what? What's the purpose really? Is it more for your fucking ego? Who cares? You don't have to bench 4 plates for an Instagram picture. No one can tell how much you can bench if you're flexing. Papa Swole, how much do you bench? I don't give a fuck. Enough. Plenty. More than I need. That's the fucking truth. What a fucking rant.
He's heating up.
Are we on it?
Wow.
Are we on it today? Booger Bubble. Papa Swolio seen conflicting instructional videos on kettlebell swings, both from personal trainers I trust. Your thoughts? Guess form is tricky in general, especially so you don't blow out your back. My thoughts? Yeah, there's different. It's all about the cue that is going to really work for you. Some people, it's just how you think about the hinge and how you think about the movement. You didn't give me any advice. So like my thoughts, I don't know my thoughts on the conflicting videos that you've seen. I have no idea what you're talking about, Booger Bubble. You've seen conflicting. Cool. Yeah. There's a lot of different ideas behind things out there. I don't know what you want me to say about it. My thoughts. There's conflicting instructional videos. Yeah. There is. There's no question there. What are my thoughts? Yeah, there's different videos for deadlifts. There's different videos out there there's conflicting shit for bench press. There's conflicting stuff for everything. Get more specific. All right, scrolling down. Papa Swolio, I want to not be that asshole at the gym. What gym etiquette should I know when I'm there unsupervised? Put your weights back and train hard. Don't text on machines and take unnecessary time. Don't walk in front of someone or try not to walk in front of someone when they're lifting. Don't step over a barbell. Disrespectful to the barbell. That's kind of I think that's a Russian thing, but I'm kind of joking. Some people get pissed if you step over a barbell. It's like going under a ladder. Breaking a mirror, bad luck. Follow the rules of the gym, I guess. If you're at Planet Fitness, don't drop your weights. Don't drop your weights. Let's see, Matthew, Papa Swolio, my family and I live in South Mississippi. Hold on a second. Let me scroll this up a little bit. My family and I live in South Mississippi, and with summertime fast approaching, we'll all be outside in a pair of shorts and no shirt except for my wife. I don't know what her problem is. I've always put on plenty of sunscreen on in the past to prevent overexposure and burning, but I'm rethinking that after listening to you talk about how what we put in our skin affects so many aspects of our health. What do you recommend from protection from overexposure to UV rays? Going into the shade. Going to the shade. Like what I do now is, if I'm going to go to the beach, I'm going to go out in the sun for a little bit and then I'll have an umbrella and I'll go in the shade. You want to go out in the sun for a little bit and then you want to go in the shade for a little bit. Usually what I do is, once my skin starts to get, when your skin starts to get a little bit hot, I go in the shade or I'll go inside for a little bit and then I go back out. You turn around a little bit or you make sure you're getting sun evenly on your body. You're not just cooking. If you're sitting out there on a boat, that's a problem just because, that's why people wear long sleeves and stuff. So they're not cooking. And I know it's not really, it seems silly, honestly, when you think about it. Like, what's the problem if you're on a boat? Oh my God, but I'm on a boat. It's like, you can take your shirt off and be out in the sun and then put on a big hat and put on a shirt for like 10, 15, 20 minutes and then take it off again. It's better for your skin because you actually absorb the vitamin D. You're not going to block all those rays. I mean, if you're worried about that, you could also Google safer or better forms of sunblock, but I'm really getting sketched out. There's been a lot of articles and stuff about how that kind of stuff reacts with the sun, and it might block certain rays, but then those chemicals, if you get expired sunblocks or certain types will have certain chemicals that absorb. So for me, and I live in Florida, man. So you're in South Mississippi, it gets hot and humid there too, but I'm in fucking Florida, Sunshine State, baby. America. And yeah, that's right, Sarah. That's what I was actually going to follow up with that. She says the sun's rays reflect on the water too. So that's a thing. That's a big thing. And plus, if you go to the beach and you're in like salt water and stuff and you're in the ocean or you're on a boat and all the sun's reflecting, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So, I mean, that's going to be a personal choice. But for me, I go out in the sun for a little bit and then I'll get shade. And then I go out in the sun for a little bit and then I'll get shade. And you don't need sunblock if you're doing it in that capacity. But it depends on, I mean, if you're going to be, hey, I'm going to a picnic outside and you're just going to be cooking in the sun, think about it. That's not a good idea, right? It's really just not a good idea to go out there and just cook and be like, well, I'm going to be out in the sun, then don't be. That's why they make bigger hats and that's why they make longer shirts. You might be hot, but yeah, you're also not going to roast your skin. Let's see here. Annika, coach's rule is you don't have to swim wearing sunscreen if you are doing 30 to 60 minutes anymore. Wear sunscreen so we aren't affected for the rest of the week, right? Because then if you get burned, you're going to be destroyed. And that's another thing. Make sure you're not just roasting yourself if you're going on vacation or you're doing something. That's why people go tanning sometimes. I'm not recommending that you go tanning. Again, that's a personal choice, but people go and they try to get some sun or some exposure. That's why they'll use a tanning bed a couple times or something before they go on a trip so you don't burn. Because you go from 6 months or 12 months in isolation in cold weather, then you go to the sun, you just cook, especially if you get roasted that first day, it ruins your entire trip. So if anything, it's really hard to resist sometimes, but you go easy that first day. That way you can build up that exposure. That happens a lot in Florida because you get these colder days. In March, it's getting into April. So you'll have these days where it doesn't feel that hot. You kind of get that California low humidity, and tourists and people that come in from other countries and spring break, they're just out there. Oh, it's beautiful. It feels so nice. They get destroyed. And not to mention down here, holy shit, spring break. Spring break, I didn't even really know because I would never go down to Miami during spring break. It's a disaster. I was down there once. And it was a combination. It was spring break, but it was also ultra. And I barely forget, or can't really remember why the hell I was down there, but I was down on ocean. It was an absolute disaster, but apparently it's just destruction down there right now. Real quality people coming down to Florida for spring break. Real quality people. Quality. Yeah. Quality. Cerny, I heard a guy who does strongman competitions say don't do deadlifts unless you're trying to get better at them. The risk isn't worth the reward. That's not true, is it? I don't know. I've done deadlifts. I mean, it's definitely a risk. If you do anything wrong, you can fuck yourself up. I mean, it's definitely a very functional exercise, lifting something up off the ground. What I would say is if you're definitely, I would say this, if you're trying to decrease your risk of an injury from a deadlift, you can do a couple things. Here's one thing that I do think is actually a good idea. For one, you don't need to do deficit deadlifts. You don't need to do from the ground. You can elevate on blocks, and that'll help tremendously. A lot of people just don't have the hip and the ankle mobility to get in good form from the pull. So they're in bad form from the start, and you can hurt yourself tremendously, just like anything else. So if you start from a higher position, most people have tight hips and tight calves and tight Achilles tendon and, really weak anterior tibialis and all this kind of stuff. So you can also do the hex bar, and that'll allow you to stay more upright and minimize your risk of any kind of injury. So for me now, now at my point, in my career, in my life, I haven't done deadlifts a lot because I don't have a barbell here. So for the past year, I have a 150-pound kettlebell. So I've been doing one arm. So like I can still rip 315, or more if I wanted to. So, I mean, I'm still doing it fine, but I prefer now. I feel like it's much more beneficial in terms of the average. Here's this. And I would say in terms of the average person if you're trying to minimize risk, activate your posterior chain, increase things like grip strength, something that's going to just, be very similar. And not everyone has the ability to do a deadlift and do it properly. Kettlebell swings are fantastic. So, I mean, I really do feel, and I'm not saying from a study standpoint, like, oh, you're not going to get the same benefits from a kettlebell swing as a deadlift. I'm not saying it's the same adaptation, but I'm saying it's a great, I won't even say a substitution. It's just a great exercise that works very, in some manner parallel to, it's a good replacement if you don't have access to a deadlift or you're worried about that. I just think you get so much, or it's a great combination at least. I really do love kettlebell swings. I mean, now if I had to choose doing deadlifts or doing kettlebell swings, like if I could only pick one, if you ask me one of those questions, I might actually pick a kettlebell swing over a deadlift. I just think the benefits are so much more because you're still getting that deadlift, but you're also doing it under, with power. You're doing it with, just that kind of that explosive movement. Such a technical move, like a deadlift. It's really technical. A kettlebell swing is a very technical move, just like a deadlift. Very simple, but very technical. Okay, let's see here. Any other? Okay. Oh, all right. Let's see here. We got a question. Let's see what else we got here on Instagram. So make sure you ask your questions. We'll be here for a few more minutes. If you don't have questions, it's all good. Got a couple more to fill you up with if you're still hungry. This one's from Sahar Wasim 0107. Sahar says, ask Papa Swolio. It says, Papa Swolio, I'm kind of weak now, having not lifted in a year. Tips to max out faster. What the fuck?
Matt Damon.
What does that mean? Max out? You could max out today if you wanted to. It's a stupid idea. Don't do it. I mean, tips to get back into it? Start fucking lifting again. I'm kind of weak now. Then don't take a fucking year off. God damn it. God damn it. Stop whining. Come on. Stop whining. There we go. We got the come on. Stop whining. You're kind of weak now. Then get back in the fucking gym. Tips. Get your ass back in there and fucking do it. Then start lifting again. Not really maxing out. That's a dumb question. Frank Zingani. Papa Swolio, chicken or steak? Steak. The easiest answer ever. Fuck chicken. Isabel.dst. How do I build discipline with my eating habits? Stress really derails me. Practice meditation daily. You need to do an elimination diet and really figure out how these foods are impacting your body. When I say elimination, everyone's going to be different. And it's important because if you're eating foods and you're not lacking nutrition, you're not getting enough nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and such, then your body is still wanting, even if you're getting sufficient macro according to your calculations. If you're one of those macro counters, doesn't matter if you're getting 2,000 calories if it's shit empty calories. So if you're eating 2,000 calories of donuts, that's not good. You don't want to eat 1,000 calories of donuts. So it's not the macros, it's the micronutrients that are equally as important, if not more. So you want to make sure that your food selection, food quality. So Swolenormousx.com, head over there and download the 7 pillars of Swolenormous, and I'll help you help ground those fundamentals of the 7 pillars and explain what I mean by that and what food quality means and why it's important over quantity. You could also go over to the 7 pillars blog on Swolenormousx.com and check out the articles on the elimination diet. Stress, you got to, and that's where the meditation, that's where the brain gains comes in, Isabel, is going to lower that stress. And also sleep is important, hydration. There's a lot of things that can help you build discipline. Also, you might want to check out that book, Atomic Habits, we always talk about. Such a great way to start those small habits because that's what it is. That's what it is. Discipline with your eating habits. That's what it is. Small little habitual changes. Small, small, small. Thus his book, Atomic Habits. So check that out. It's a really good one. We always rep that book. It's a really good book. Let's see what we got here. We got a question. We got a long one. Hold on a second. Get a little bit of, there we go here. All right. Jen Vasquez. All right, let's do this. Hashtag fuck average. If you haven't yet, drop that in the comments down below. Hashtag fuck average. But also, of course, if you want your question featured, if you want your question asked or answered, I should say, hashtag ask Papa Swolio. But fuck average, if you want a chance to win the card presented to you by that sexy peppermint tip. It's very nice. It's very nice. Yow. Yow. Sexy beach. All right, Jen Vasquez. Papa Swolio. Okay, I have a question. I've been at home working out and honestly don't plan on going back to the gym. California just opened, but I have enough here at home to do it on my own. But how can I train myself to do a pull-up? I'm determined to do it one day. We have a door bar, but for the damn life of me, I can't do that shit at all. I use a ladder and stand on one leg to pull myself up that way, but I know there has to be advice better than my man-made BS. Help. Have you looked at that do your first pull-up masterclass in X? Like, it's all been there. I'm surprised you don't know this answer already. We've talked about how to level up from how to do your first pull-up. We've talked about that so many times. Negatives, isometrics. Check out the masterclass in X. You're an unlimited member, Jen, right? You check out the masterclass on how to do your first pull-up. You definitely want to do negatives and isometric holds at the top. The same muscles on the way down are working on the way up, so you overload them during the strongest aspect of a muscle's contraction, which is the eccentric contraction, when the muscle's producing force, but not enough to overcome the resistance, not enough internal tension to overcome the external force. So the same muscles working on the way down, when you're stronger, you could control that, even though you wouldn't be able to pull up with those same muscles because you're not able to overcome your gravitational pull, so to speak. But if you strengthen them organically, right, controlling your own body weight and mechanics and, you know, the way a pull-up should be done, you're doing that, lowering half of the motion, doing your isometric, and then a slow 4, 5, 6 second descent and stepping up and doing it again. Once you can do that longer, then you increase the volume and how long you do a descent, and it'll help you get your first pull-up. You could also do inverted rows and stuff like that. The same concept with inverted rows. What are you saying here? Let's see. How would you live, or how would you love 315 pounds using kettlebells? Oh, well, I'm saying the one I have, I'll probably get the other bigger ones, but the one I have goes up to 150. So if I do a one arm deadlift and I get down there, I do a one arm, that's technically one arm 150. The other arm, I could do another 150. So each arm, just saying, if I'm doing a one arm pull from a kettlebell, obviously I can't get low unless my feet are up on blocks, but if I could do it with one arm 150, two, it's 300. So, you know, if I had 174 pound kettlebells, I could do it, but yeah, that's right. Eric says Rogue has 176 and 203 pound kettlebells. Yeah. So I have them up to 150. And I thought about it. I'm like, oh, I can get the 176 and 203. And it's like, I don't know if I need that. Like, I do kettlebell swings with a 150, but I don't know if I'd go heavier. I'm not really sure how, like, that would be I could do it now, but I don't know if I want to. We'll see. It's not really the necessary investment because they're not cheap. They're not fucking cheap at all. And the shipping, of course, you got to do freight and stuff. Okay. So let's see here. We got the ripped giraffe. Okay. Okie dokie. The ripped giraffe. What do you think about documenting weight loss on social media? Fine. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Sure, it's great. I think it's great. If you're losing weight, document your journey. Who cares? If someone doesn't like what you're posting online, then that's their problem. That's how I look at it. I don't care. I don't care if someone, again, if you don't like what I post, then don't follow my page and don't look at what I post. If you don't like what I'm posting, then block me. Then block my page and don't choose to look at the page. It's really your choice. So it's not my fault that you're watching my video. Think about it. It's not my fault you're watching my video. Just saying. And about this is it's a good concept because you should use this yourself. You should use this yourself when you're on Twitter or you're on Facebook or Instagram. You see all this bullshit because you're the ones that are all dealing with this nonsense too. I don't give a fuck. I don't have to deal with anything. I don't deal with anything I don't want to. I really don't. I don't. I need my circle tight, small. It's fine. I don't give a shit. So many people have drama. Everyone's got their own lives. So do I. So do I. I just have zero time for other people's shit. Really no tolerance. No tolerance. So I think it's totally fine. You post what you want. If someone doesn't like it, then they can go look at something else. That's it. Jen, I am an unlimited member, but honestly haven't even dug deep into the site as much as I'd like to. I'm going to look into it. My littles distract me and then I forget as they did just now, but now I know where to find it, writing it down. Thank you, Papa. You're welcome. Go check that out. And if you still have questions and stuff, you can, come on back and we'll do some more content on that. But I was just kind of surprised because you're here so often and that question comes up pretty frequently. So Eric, regular UPS drivers delivers only up to 150. Yeah, it came UPS, but it came freight. Yeah, it comes, and that's the thing when you're ordering from a company like Rogue, you want to order all at once because if you're ordering individual kettlebells, you're paying shipping every time. If you're ordering 5 or 6 kettlebells, just order them all at the same time because then you'll pay one price shipping because you pay for the pallet. So however fucking heavy that pallet is, whatever that limit is on one pallet, you just load it all up on one. And it's one price. So it might be 150 or whatever for shipping on a pallet. But if you put on 3 more kettlebells, it's going to be 150. You order them individually, it's going to be like $100 for each one or $60 or whatever it is. So you want to try to combine them if you can. So when I got those two, I got those two together. I got the 150 and the 124 together. Looking back at it, I'm like, shit, I should just order the other two because then ordering, I'm not really as inspired to get the heavier ones. It's just such a, do I need to do a kettlebell swing with 174? No, like the 150 is beast. So if I start to feel like I'm growing out of that, not yet, I handle it fine, but there's still a lot more. It takes a long time to build up that capacity because that's a huge jump. Once you start getting, it's like anything else. When you go from a kettlebell swing, when you learn, let's say you have a 35-pound kettlebell, you're going to be really awkward at first. Once you get it, you start increasing really fast. You go to a 50 and like, oh, this is great. You go to a 60 and 70. And then once you start getting really heavy, just like any kind of bench, incremental. And from a kettlebell standpoint, 150 to 174, that's a huge jump. Or 176 or whatever the heck it is. It's a huge jump. Huge jump. Let's see here. A lot of beaches not. Oh, hit that like button. Are beaches? Jen, my mom hears pop in the background when I come over and then she gets offended. So I tell her, yeah, earmuffs, mom, earmuffs.
Is this a list of things I did to your mom last night?
Soul Train. Papa Swolio, when's the best time to use the sauna? I did mine post-workout today, but was curious what was optimal. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, I would do that. I never considered doing it first or anything like that. I used to when I went to a gym. This is years ago. My friend and I, we'd go in the sauna for 5 minutes before we went out into the gym floor. It's good to get a little heat. You kind of feel good, get your blood flowing and stuff like that. But yeah, after is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Or you wait a little bit and go in, but yeah, after would be good. See what works best for you. I would not recommend going in the sauna for 20 minutes or half an hour and sweating your ass off and then going and trying to train. So afterwards, or separate or longer afterwards, I would say. MB, I think for many women, social media provides accountability because some people don't have a community and those strangers, encouragement is necessary. Yeah, the problem is people depend on it though. So it's one thing to kind of get some social reinforcement. Okay, cool. But then you depend on it. And that's why the likes and stuff, that's why Instagram and other sites and YouTube and all these other sites have started diminishing their promotion of likes and followers. And that's why TikTok, when Musical.ly became TikTok, that's why they've always made it prominent to show the likes and the followers, because they wanted to get in the game, and that's what gets people addicted. So that's the game on TikTok, is just getting more followers. So the other sites and other Instagram and stuff, it used to be more about content, and the followers became the thing once influencers started making a ton of money and people realized the social currency and the real money that could be earned in the asset that having social media, the digital real estate. All of a sudden, now it's all about promoting the addiction, the addictive part of social media. So now people attach their self-worth and their identity to how many likes and followers they have. So you have to be secure in yourself that, hey, let's say tomorrow, everyone unsubscribes and you lose your channel. Let's say you have 1 million followers, or you have, let's say my other channel, the Swolenormous channel, let's say 120, whatever, thousand followers. Let's say it disappears tomorrow. I have to be okay with myself to move forward in that climate, because 1, that would suck. 2, it's possible. And 3, that's not who I am. That's just one channel. I have other channels. I'll make another channel. I'll keep creating content. It's just, that would just suck. But a lot of people be devastated. That's their whole life. That's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's why you don't just have YouTube. You don't just only do YouTube. You do everything, because nothing's secure, especially now. So bottom line, don't attach your self-worth to your followers or your like count. That's just fundamentally stupid. And don't outsource your self-worth. You like that? That's a good quote. Don't outsource your self-worth. It's a good way to think about it. All right, let's see. Let's take a couple more questions. What we got here? Hashtag fuck average if you want a chance to win today's Swole card.
I like
that sexy
the
bitch.
rusty
Come on.
spoon.
Look at that sexy tip. Did you see that? Did you see that shit? Did you see that? Damn. Look, that girl's thick. That is thick.
What's your name, fat body?
I'm Tess Honaday. Yeah. I'm a sexy bitch. Look at my sexy peppermint tip. Yeah. You see that shit? Okay, let's see here. Before we go on to, we'll take a couple more questions if you got them. Do not hesitate. Make sure you get them up now, because we won't be here forever. But what we do have is, fam, even if you're gonna be like, oh my God, Papa Swole, you're leaving so soon. Not really. But we'll be back tomorrow, fam. We'll be back for episode, what is it, 1780 Schwam? 1781 tomorrow, accountability meeting. So live inside Swole TV and the private Facebook groups will be live for members only. You want to join the fam and get access to all the private live streams. We had one on Thursday. We had one last Monday. Don't miss out on any episodes. Join the fam, swolenormousx.com. Less than $5. Just skip your Starbucks one day, maybe 1 day and a half, and join the Swole fam. You get access to all the live streams and stuff. It's going to be fire. This week is going to be lit. I'm excited. I'm very excited. More gorillas. So tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, we'll see you all there. And if you have more questions, now's a good time to ask. You can do it. You can ask. Papa Swolio, are there no more reaction videos to the face fuckers? It's hilarious to see your reaction to the gross shit they do. Not lately. I just haven't had any interest in it. You know, I just feel like it gets repetitive. That's why there's been a lot of, there's been clips and stuff, and there's been a lot of stuff going on also. So it's been a little bit hectic. But maybe, it's the same old people, fucking their face and YouTube. I just kind of get annoyed and tired of seeing that all these fucking garbage channels are just gaining subscribers endlessly. Just massive channels that were dog shit. Just saying, channels that were dog shit that I was ripping on a year ago, 2 years ago, saying like, look at this crap. Look at these wannabe copycat mukbang channels that are getting all this attention. Like, look at these people trying to copy Nico Cotto and all this crap. And then these channels have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers now. It's like, how the fuck are you allowing this stuff to get such organic reach? How are you promoting this fucking shit? So I'm just kind of like tired. Like, I'm not going to go above and beyond to, I'm not going to go above and beyond for a platform that doesn't distribute any of the content. They can't reach people. I'm going to create the content at my pace, but it's just not, it's not inspiring. It's not inspiring. I never have a shortage of content, so I don't need it. but we'll see. Maybe I'll come back. Maybe I'll feel like it. They haven't disappeared permanently. I just haven't felt like doing them yet lately. Randy, will you start a Tess Hornaday merch line so we could have some peppermint tips? Yeah, you can get them on a shirt. Tess Hornaday gear has been out for like a year. We've had Tess Hornaday on gear for a while. I'm not sure if it's available right now. We bring back some of the designs, but we've had them up for like the whole year. Yeah, Tess Hornaday. We've had that peppermint tip on Swolenormousapparel.com for like the entire year. They might even still be up there. All right. Let's see. Oh, God. I'm not answering that. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Any more questions? We're good. I'm done with these Instagram questions. Some of them are really dumb. I just don't feel like doing more Instagram questions. If you got any more questions here, you can drop in the comments down below. We'll give away the Swole card in just a second. Hashtag fuck average. We'll give that away. Ren, I prefer to watch you as you provide value to my life. Why, thank you. Aw. Why, thank you. Falcon wants to say thank you. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's do this. Great questions today. And you got to go check out Swolenormousapparel.com and scroll. There's a lot of pages there. But we did have all, because of the fuck your resolutions and the holidays, we had all the seasonal releases, and we do them in seasons. So they might have been reabsorbed for the next releases. So check it out and just scroll through. All right, let's get with a Swole card. Hashtag fuck average. Let's see what we got today, fam. Let's see what we got today. Is that the music? There we go. Hey, yeah. I love you too, fam. I love you too, Beaches. I wish I had a nice shrubbery. You do? A shrubbery? A shrubbery. Scrolling down, not a comments. Scrolling. One more time. No. One more time. One more time. I feel like I'm going to land on it right now early. Clearly you're new here. Who said that? Scroll. Scroll. Where's that fuck average? Who's got that? Who's got a fuck average? Aaron Johnson, congratulations.
Congratulations.
I knew someone was going to get a fuck average. Congratulations, Aaron Johnson, to the main stage. Hashtag fuck average you. You are the winner of today's Swole card.
Yow.
Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com and a Swole card 1780 in the subject and your mailing address in the body of your email, and we'll send you that Swole card. Fucking fantastic. So congratulations, Aaron. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yes, we're all happy that Aaron, we're all happy Aaron won the card today. Very, very happy for her. Yes, Falcon. Yes, Falcon, indeed. Indeed, you sexy, irreverent beach. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that sexy beach. Tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Eastern time? Eastern time. Tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Come on now. Oh, we got it now. Thank you so much, fam, for joining me for episode 1780 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pincast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Oh yeah. Ah, look at that peppermint tip. It's so nice. It's so nice. Nailed it!
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Yes.
He's heating up.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow for 17/8 Schwam. Remember, accountability meeting tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Don't be there. Don't be there. Don't be there. Be square. Don't be there. Be there. Jesus Christ.
I was kidding.
I didn't mean that.
I was only kidding.
I didn't mean that. Be there tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Be there or be square. You don't want to be square. You want to be round, I suppose. It doesn't make sense. Be there or be square. I forget where that came from, but anyway, just be there tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Awesome episode. You could join now. Don't miss it. Swole TV and the private Facebook group. Don't miss out on that. Check us out, swolenormousx.com. And I'll see you tomorrow for episode 17, 8th Schwan. I'll see you in the accountability meeting. Fam, peace, McGeese, deuce, Magoose, yeah boy, Papa Swolio, out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing, like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies, you children.